It's official. Perry's buttonhole didn't move. Right then, hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, and welcome. My name is Paul, I'm also called Knickknack. I'm the brains behind Knickknack's Daily Teaser, which is a fun daily brain teaser quiz. I also occasionally talk about movies, and I really should watch the new James Bond film at some point, but I also watch TV shows and talk about them. You'll find my reviews of Doctor Who Flux floating around under this eye, alongside the movie reviews and various daily teasers. And I've also been watching The Evil of the Daleks, the classic Doctor Who story that's recently been reanimated. It's the 17th of December at the moment, and it's getting slowly towards midnight. But I've just tonight seen episode 2 of The Evil of the Daleks, and I wanted to tell you about it. Episode 2 picks up from episode 1, showing us Kennedy breaking into the hidden safe in Waterfield's antique shop, whilst a Dalek slowly materialises behind him. The Dalek orders Kennedy to identify himself, and then exterminates the man when he doesn't. Then it slowly vanishes. In the front section of the shop, the Doctor and Jamie, Patrick Troughton and Fraser Hines, have arrived early for their 10 o'clock appointment with Mr. Perry and Mr. Waterfield. The Doctor wants to have a look around the shop before Perry gets there. He's very wary of suspiciously new Victoriana, something that causes an equally suspicious Jamie to wonder if Waterfield has a time machine. Unbeknownst to the sleuthing pair, Waterfield himself is out the back, still confronting a Dalek, still angered by its killing of Kennedy, concerned about how he's supposed to dispose of a dead body, and deeply concerned about something else. When Perry, played by Geoffrey Colville, eventually arrives and meets our heroes, he admits the reason why the TARDIS was stolen was because Waterfield had been acting under orders to capture the police box, bring it to the shop, and hand it over to his unknown masters. With Perry's tacit agreement, the three sneak into the back of the shop, where they find Kennedy's extremely dead body, half a photograph of the Doctor himself, and a dead phone line. That dead phone line forces Perry to look out for a policeman, whilst the Doctor and Jamie explore the office. That's an exploration that leads them to a bookshelf, which turns out to be a sliding door, and turns out to lead directly to a very booby-trapped box. Now, what have we got in this episode, and what did I make of it? First things first, what did I make of it? This is episode 2 is stepping the story forward again. It's another tick of the clock and shows us that Waterfield's working with Theodore Maxtable, Marius Goring, and the pair have developed a prototype time machine that works with static electricity and mirrors. We know the pair have caught the attention of time-travelling Daleks, and we know that Waterfield's daughter Victoria, is being held captive by the Daleks. And that, for some reason, we also know the Daleks are very interested in Jamie. Possibly got something to do with the skirt, I don't know. There we go. I throw it out there for you. At any rate, for some reason, they're interested in Jamie. Why? I don't know, although Theodore Maxtable has some interesting speculation in this episode, and we'll have to see how that pans out in episodes 3 and 4. Outside of the plot, which was beautifully done and it's slowly taking us forward, outside of the plot, and first things first, this is the second episode to feature Perry. And, in case you caught last week's review, his buttonhole stays right in the left lapel. Stays exactly where it was. Unlike episode 1, where it had this tendency to, jump from here to here. And occasionally jump from there to here. That's a relatively unimportant piece of detailing, but it's nice to see it's actually kept still in this episode. It's a relatively unimportant point, though. What is important is the incredible richness and detailing of this episode. I mentioned that in last week's episodes there was all sorts of things going on. The actual Yes, I mentioned about the cigarettes. I mentioned the smoke. I mentioned the colouring. It's all very, very rich and very wonderful to watch. It really does make or give the episode a certain amount of depth of visual acuity that is a pleasure to watch. The detailing as well in this episode. The £5 notes. We see Kennedy opening a safe at the start of the episode 2. It's a little bit of leftover cliffhanger. The detailing of the £5 notes in the safe was quite beautiful to see. As are the Dalek eye stalks. I've still got my copy of Power of the Daleks, and the Daleks in Power of the Daleks are beautifully rendered. They're not as detailed as the way they've been rendered in Evil of the Daleks episode 2. I mean, you can see the rim of the dome much more in Evil than you can in Power. You can see the grill, the neck grill. You can make out detailing of I don't know what you called it, but the little holes in the grill. You can make those out. The eye stalk, the camera eye on the Daleks eye stalk, is far more detailed than the Evil of the Daleks, to the point where you can see the 3 screws, as well as the parts of the iris, the overlapping parts of the iris, far more detail in Evil of the Daleks. It's really quite something. It's a hell of an improvement, and shows you quite how far the animation software and animation abilities have come in the years between the release of Power and Evil of the Daleks. It is amazing to see. There's also the candlesticks on the fireplace. Don't blink, you'll miss it. On a larger level, episode 2, the original broadcast episode 2, still survives from the 60s. It's the only episode of the show to survive. And in this animated version of episode 2, that you zoom in on Maxtable's house, which you don't in the original episode. It really is wonderful to watch. You get, in the animated version, you zoom in on Maxtable's house and then go to the relevant scene of the Doctor and Jamie in the front room coming around from their trip. And you don't see that same zoom in the original episode. I would call it a beautiful bit of extra detailing. It's a nice extra touch I certainly, for one, appreciated between the 2 different versions of episode 2. It is quite something to watch. It's about 9 minutes and 54 seconds in. It is beautiful to watch, and it's a hell of a job of work just to have this few seconds worth of animation. It really is incredible to watch. I could argue that they've improved on it. Indeed, I believe they have improved on it. But you tell me. You go and watch this episode. You say what you think. I'd love to hear what you've got to say. Either way, it's the 17th of December as I perform this video, do this video review. I'm going to be watching episode 3 on Christmas Eve, in lieu of a Christmas special, because we don't get one, we're getting a New Year's one. But in lieu of a Christmas special, I'm going to be watching episode 3 on Christmas Eve. I'd love it if you'd join me. I'll see you then. Have a good week.